Open the lens cover. Durr. Okay, anyways. The phone line situation has been repaired. I'm not really sure what was wrong with it. I found that numerous cables that were behind here were making noise, and some of them were not. So ultimately what I ended up doing was I ran a new twisted pair to feed this room, because for whatever reason when I plug this room into the wiring that runs through the rest of the house, I get the noise. And if I run certain cables that were already in place directly from the PBX into this room, I would get the noise. So I ran a new cable and now it's fine. But I ran multiple cables and some of them weren't working, some of them made the noise, some of them didn't make the noise. I don't know what's going on. There's something going on in between this wall here, and it's not anything that I know of, because I've turned everything off and it still makes the noise. The noise has been there for a long time, because even before I was using the PBX there was always a little bit of a hum on the line. It just wasn't bad enough to really be a problem. But of course now, when I put the PBX in there, it got a million times worse, and so it was unusable. Anyways, kind of annoying to have to spend the time on it, but I did. And it was a good reminder when you're looking at a problem like this, when you find an issue, like for instance I found out that this cable in particular wasn't very good. You can't stop when you find a problem, because it may not be the only problem. And in my case it wasn't. Okay, because while this cable I do think was causing some of the problems, it wasn't the only one. And if I had stopped when I found that this cable was bad and replaced this cable and patched everything up again, I would have still had a problem. So it's very important when you're dealing with something like this, really any kind of a problem on any piece of equipment, when you encounter an issue, you can't just stop. You got to keep going and look at the entire thing and test everything, because there's often more than one problem. So that's that. It's fixed for now. I wish I knew what the problem was, but for a temporary setup I'm not going to spend the time. It won't matter soon enough. Why is it so blurry? The only thing that was good that came out of this was that I used to have the surge protector in the other room, and so I ran a cable that went from the equipment here all the way to the desk and all the way back, just to add surge protection. And in this situation it's only 30 or 40 feet both ways, so it's not a big deal. But when you're doing cabling, you always want to have the shortest runs as possible. And so what I did was I changed it. Now that I have the surge protector in here, I have it surge protected right there. So now we're only running 4-foot lines to get the surge protection. So that was a good improvement. The old wires are still there. I don't feel like pulling them out. And they all got to come out eventually. I'll deal with it when the time comes. So that's it. This is working now with no noise. Don't understand really what's going on. My only suspicion is that it could have something to do with those connectors, because those was really cheap connectors, and when I was using those to try to make Ethernet cords, I never had good results with those carrying data. So it's possible that they're just cheap and noisy. I don't know. We may never know, but it's working now, and that's all I'm concerned about for now.